Good afternoon from the allotment. Well, I think this is probably the longest I've gone without making a film. I think we're over 2 weeks now. I've been really stacked out. I've just not had chance to get down and do any filming. That's not saying I've not been down. I have been down, but because things got a little bit in front of me, I wanted to just crack on and get things done. And I needed to finish the log store, as I mentioned to you before. And plus as well, I'm busy putting the garden to bed at home. So a lot of my plants that can't stay in the garden over the winter period, I had to get up and transport down here. And been harvesting the chilies and the sweet peppers, getting the final few potatoes. I've still got a couple of rows of potatoes to come out, and just generally cracking on, getting things done. I'll just quickly show you where we've got to on the front plot, take you into the greenhouse, the big greenhouse, and down through the small, and I'll show you where we got to with the log stores. So come on, let's go have a look. So as you can pretty much see, the front plot is looking quite tidy now. All the beds have been weeded, emptied, except for the chard down at the bottom there, and that's going to get dealt with. I've got my garlic at home, and they'll be coming down and getting dropped into this bed here. So yeah, that's all looking quite tidy. Spin round. As you can see, the middle part of the plot, the bottom part of the plot is pretty much there. A small greenhouse and a large one. As you can see, maybe right down at the bottom end there, you may be able to just see the two log stores, which I'll take you to see. So here we are in the large greenhouse. As you can see, the majority of the peppers and chilies have been harvested. I'll try and drop a photograph in on this film. As I say, I was just too busy to film it. I just really wanted to crack on, so I'll try and drop a photograph in at the end of this video, just to show you, the size of the harvest I got from the peppers and the chilies. The Scotch bonnet, I got absolutely loads, and I've still got quite a few in here to harvest. So yeah, the next thing for this greenhouse is everything out, all the benches out, painted. As I said before, I've got some fake grass I'm going to put over the top of this once I've cleaned the floor. So hopefully that'll be all in the next 3 or 4 weeks, but there's no big rush for that. No big rush. But it's amazing how dirty your glass gets and how much moss gets in between the actual panes of glass and starts to lift the glass from it, and then you start to get leaks and obviously get heat escaping. So there is a bit of glasshouse maintenance to do over the winter period. As you can see, I've got the all the canners down from home. They're just living in this greenhouse for now. Eventually what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut them down. I'm going to get them covered over, and they're going to go in the shed or under the benches in the greenhouse, protected from the frost. But done really well with these. As you can see, we've got some quite large specimens. So I'm going to have to get that sorted. And at the back there, you can't see, but I'll try and move you across. Let's have a look. I don't know if you can see just down at the bottom there. I've got a load of iris from the garden. It got too big, so I've divided it up into smaller pieces, and I'll show you what I'm going to do with that. 1 second. As I mentioned to you before, what I'm going to do is continue this path right the way through down to the wood shelter. And what I'm going to do with the iris, because this side of the plot floods, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a path straight through the middle and create 2 beds, one there and one down this side. On this side, where it floods, I'm going to put all the iris. So that should look quite nice when they actually all flower. It should give a decent show. I've already got a number of iris down there, so I'm going to divide all those up, and I'm going to have a bank of iris down this left hand side. As I mentioned to you earlier, just because I haven't been filming doesn't mean to say I haven't been down. I have been down tidying all these beds up. All of them are all now virtually weed free. A little bit of work on that chard. The planter has been emptied. The big dahlia is still in there, but as I say, I'm going to cover this, keep the water off it, and hopefully it should protect it over the winter. Spring onions all weeded nicely. The majority of the beds around here have all been weeded. And we've got the winter cabbage and cauliflowers there. Pruned down the nectarine tree because it got quite a bit of disease on it, so I've pruned it right back. Let's see what happens next year. The dahlias are still in. I've just pruned them back, but they'll be coming and getting lifted. As you can see, all the raised beds have been tidied up. Parsnip's still going strong, and all these raised beds have been tidied. The boxes I've decided to give to my friend, so they're going to be leaving the plot soon and making their way to her garden. So there's still some work to do on this bed. It's got to mirror this one, so all these plants need to be pruned down, composted, and then the dahlias lifted. I've pruned this fruit tree here, and there's another apple over there to prune, and one here as well. So that needs a bit of work. And then these are the iris that need lifting. So here's the wood shelter number 1 that I completed first, and managed to get a lot of the logs that I already had stacked into this side. All these rounds all need chopping, so there's a fair bit of sweat to go here yet, but hopefully that should fill that side there. I'll take you across and show you the next one. So here's log store number 2. Been working on this, as I say, in my absence. This is pretty much mirrors the other one on the other side. As you can see, it's quite big. I can virtually stand up inside it. So this is going to hold a mixture of logs for half of it, and then the other side is going to be for the kindling. The only other thing I've got to do is put on some guttering on both sides. I've put myself a water butt at each end, which will look after the 2 beds just at the side of it. So yeah, I've been really busy doing that. I'll just take you through to the other side so you can see it from that angle. So this is from the bottom of the plot. So those big rounds there just demarcate the end of my plot, and as you can see, this is the view at the back, the 2 log stores and my loading bay. I mentioned to you that I was due to get a load of leaf mould. I worked like hell to empty and clear this space and got all my wood and rounds round to the other side of the log store, anticipating its arrival, and then it was cancelled. So now I'm waiting for wood chip, and I'm waiting for the the leaf mould. Whichever one comes first, it'll get dropped in the bay there, and the other will get dropped outside here, and I'll ferry it up and down. As you can see there, I've got my compost bins. I don't know how well these really work, or if they do work, they seem to take a hell of a long time to produce decent compost. So I'm of two minds whether or not to actually create myself some compost bays, and just rotate them and move them along the back, on the back sides of the wood shelters. I'm still debating whether or not to do it. I have got some timber that's plastic lined there, some quite big pieces of timber, solid pieces of timber, which I could put at the back of this area here, and I'm just wondering whether to do that. If you've any comments on the performance of these compost bins as opposed to compost bays, leave us a comment. Let me know how you've gone on. But that's another winter job. They just keep adding up, don't they? Winter rest, who says? Well folks, that's it. We're just a quick video just to let you know I'm still alive and kicking, still busy, still working hard. The next video is going to be me planting my garlic, showing you what I do to try and get it off to a good start. So that'll be the next video. That'll be this weekend. There's still enough heat in the soil just to give it that boost at the beginning of its planting, just enough to get some shoots through before the really cold weather starts. So that'll be the next episode. I hope to see you there. Thank you very much for watching. Give us a thumbs up if you like the video, and again, the usual rigmarole. If you're watching and you've not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. It'd be appreciated. Okay guys, I'll see you at the weekend. Have a great rest of the week, and until then, happy growing.